Welcome to News Laundry Chota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. News Laundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a News Laundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. We are back with another episode of Hafta in a week that saw some pretty dire stuff in the Northeast that occupied headlines for some time. And then there have been many other developments that we shall discuss, explain and explore in the next hour to hour and a half. But first, let me introduce our panel to you. Today on the Hafta, we have joining us in the studio Mehraj Lone. Hi Mehraj.
Hello.
Raman Kripal.
Hi.
Manisha Pandey joins us from her hometown of Dehradun.
Hello.
How is Dehradun?
Very nice. It's been raining all day.
Okay, sounds lovely. And joining us from Guwahati on the phone line is Karma Paljor. Hi Karma.
Hi.
So many of our listeners, most of us whom are news hounds would know Karma. For those of you who don't, Karma is the co-founder of Atvi Infotainment. It's a content creation company. This was set up in 2018. And there is a vertical that includes eastmojo.com. You can check out the news that they give you over there. Karma is actually a veteran journalist. Many of you would know him by face. He used to be a prominent face on Network 18 back when it was called CNN IBN. He has 18 years of experience. He has won the Ramnath Goenka Award for Excellence in Journalism in 2011 and in 2014. So Karma, welcome.
Thank you.
We're recording this hafta at 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 29th of July. We will get into the discussion, but before that, we shall cut to the headlines.
Border tensions between Assam and Mizoram erupted once again, with police personnel from both the states clashing over a piece of land. At least 5 Assam police officers were killed in this clash. Mamata Banerjee met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence in Delhi. She's on a whirlwind tour. She also met Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi and Arvind Kejriwal. So there's a lot of chatter around that. A team from poll strategist Prashant Kishore's IPAC was allegedly stopped from leaving their hotel in Tripura capital, Agartala, where they went to do some surveys for the Trinamool Congress. Prashant Kishore is also at the center of news. There's a lot of speculation around whether he would join the Congress or not. Meanwhile, B.S. Yediyurappa has resigned as Karnataka Chief Minister. Basavaraj Bommai takes oath as the 23rd Chief Minister of Karnataka. BJP leader who was caught watching porn in assembly is now Karnataka Deputy CM.
Baba.
2 journalists have moved the Supreme Court seeking a direction for an independent inquiry into allegations related to the Pegasus spyware. This is the former editor of The Hindu and the Asian College of Journalism chairperson Shashi Kumar who moved the court. I think the hearing is sometime in early August. Nearly 200 women farmers protest at Jantar Mantar, demand 33% representation at Parliament. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi drove a tractor to Parliament in protest against the centre's farm laws. Rakesh Asthana, a former officer of the Central Bureau of Investigation, was appointed as Delhi Police Commissioner just 3 days before his retirement. We can discuss this a bit in detail. Delhi Assembly has passed resolution against Rakesh Asthana's appointment as the Delhi Police Commissioner. BJP sought Shashi Tharoor's removal as House Panel Head. Meanwhile, Kerala has recorded 22,000 fresh COVID-19 cases, pushing the infection caseload to more than 33 lakh cases. The death toll in one day was 131, and people who've succumbed to the virus has risen to 16,000, more than 16,000. Amid rising COVID-19 cases in Kerala, Centre has also sent a 6-member team to the state to investigate what exactly happened. The toll in Maharashtra flood climbed to 207, with 15 more deaths recorded on Tuesday morning. This has been very devastating for the region. At least 7 people were killed and 19 remain missing after flash floods hit Onjar village in Jammu and Kashmir's remote mountainous Kishtwar district. This was following a cloudburst on Wednesday. There was another cloudburst that caused flash flood in Lahaul district of Himachal Pradesh, and there was a landslide which killed 9 tourists near Sangla, and there were very dramatic visuals that were doing the rounds on Twitter on this. Gymnast Simone Biles, who was representing the United States at the Tokyo Games, withdrew from the gymnastic team's competition, prioritizing her mental health.
Thank you, Manisha. Before we go into a conversation with Karma Paljor, just want to say that we had two kind of change of guards in the last couple of weeks. One was Punjab, one was Karnataka. And you got to give it to the BJP, they handled it pretty well, even though it wasn't as happy as they were making it out to be, which is the difference in when you're in power, when you're in not. If Sonia Gandhi was in power and she was the undisputed queen of UPA like she was, all the transitions would have been as slow, as swift as they were in Karnataka. And now, before I start, just wanted to give you a shout out for those who contributed to Who Owns Your Media project. You may have seen that series has started going online. We have covered Zee, The Hindu, Malayalam Manorama, Hindustan Times, and of course News Laundry. The Times of India as well. We've covered the Times of India. And we'll have such a detailed profile on the ownership structure, etc., on every prominent news house, large media company. And this was made possible. This was a News Laundry Sena project. It was titled Who Owns Your Media? And this was contributed for by Gaurav Ketkar, Pradeep Dantuluri, Shipra Mehandru, Yash Sinha, Sonali Singh, Prayash Mohapatra, Naveen Kumar Prabhakar, Abhishek Singh, Sandeep Kelwadi, Aishwarya Mahesh, Tushar Matthew, Satish Pagare, and some other NL Sena members who don't want to be named. So thank you all for making this series possible. We're getting a lot of great feedback on it. And we have one more NL Sena project up on the Aravalis. So I urge you, please contribute to that NL Sena project, because only when the public pays can public service journalism thrive. If it's funded by ads, you'll get the kind of shit that you often get. One more quick announcement. We have a Discord channel, and a lot of you miss our emailers for the recesses that we have. So one way to make sure you don't miss the recesses, join our Discord channel. So there is a Discord channel that is dedicated to subscribers, and there are reminders that when the recess happens, so you'll never miss anything.
Right. So I don't know where to start, because there are so many issues. First point of both the chief ministers pandering to their constituency, to their people, playing with this. Yes. Remember the first tu meme, so to say, happened on Twitter. When there was tension on the ground, when, the policemen were facing each other. So it happened on Twitter and immediately it erupted, and that led to the, I don't say that directly led to the violence, because most of the people on that location perhaps are not looking at Twitter, but it sent a very wrong message, and it continues. Apart from that one statement, which was made by the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, where he said that I am willing to listen to the center. Whatever the center says, I will accept. So that was one step towards, maybe understanding the need to settle this once and for all, which is good. But again, it was followed by, we will deploy X-Commando battalion. We will not leave an inch. We will fight for our land and all those issues and all. So it's highly debated now. Social media is on fire. Any story that you see on any of the Northeast digital platforms, you see East Mojo, there are hundreds of people fighting amongst each other. So that is going on. Now, historically, if you look at it, I would say it goes way back. And the problem with most of us, even me, when I was working for a mainstream news channel, is that we tend to kind of, paint the entire Northeast with a single brush. We fail to understand that there are so many complexities, there are so many tribes, so many castes. So all this are at play. Some have gone back to the colonial times to describe. So if you've read articles, written by some of the senior journalists who've followed this issue very closely, talk about the two boundary demarcations from the colonial era. Mizoram accepting a particular date of the boundary, and Assam accepting the other one. Yeah, even, I've been thinking about that for a long time. Absolutely, one would expect him to be subservient, but it didn't happen, interestingly, all the statements that he's made also. But if you look at the other side, Mizoram, I'll come back to the Assam Chief Minister. If you look at the Chief Minister of Mizoram, although they are ally of BJP, but they didn't listen to the Home Ministry notification which said that, you will not accept refugees from Myanmar. While the other bordering state of Manipur immediately complied with the notification and said, no, we will not. Mizoram defied that notification and came out strongly against and said, look here, these are our people. We have close cultural ties, family ties, and we will accept them. So that is openly defying a person who appears to be, or many claim to be, is one of the top, most powerful home ministers that India has ever had. So that defiance has come. Now, politically, there was a kind of a big power tussle in who will become the chief minister of Assam between Sarbananda Sonowal, the former chief minister, and Himanta Biswa Sarma.
Right.
But Himanta, having done the work on the ground during COVID, even after that, and him being a strategist of him leading NEDA, which is the alliance, the Northeast Alliance, everyone thought that he was the rightful person because he's really performed and you can see it on the ground. I don't know if he is doing this, making these statements appearing combative despite him or with having the blessings of the Home Ministry.
No, there was this really interesting picture, though. I don't know if you guys saw this. It was all over Twitter.
Beautiful
And I
picture.
think it was the West Bengal Chief Minister's office that released it, with Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi standing at the back and Mamta in front. And this is at the residence. So it seems like the two of them are gatekeepers and Mamta is kind of going ahead. It's very, quite smart because it's the CMO's office that's clicked it. So obviously it's clicked in a way to make Mamta seem like larger than life and all. But nothing I know from, I know what Times Now knows. She's all over Delhi meeting all the important people and saying ki khela hone wala hai. And meanwhile, TMC spokespersons are all over news channels really trying to project her as this person who's going to take on Modi. Ki ab Didi ka log sab tang ho gaye Modi ke raaj se, ab Didi aa jayenge. And interestingly, all Congress spokespersons are missing. They refuse to come for these debates, in fact, because Rahul Kanwal also pointed it out that,
because they don't want to endorse Didi, yet they don't want to reject her.
They don't want to be there, and they don't want to obviously say that no, she's mistaken, but they also don't want to sit through this awkward thing of Didi being hailed as the principal opposition force while Rahul Gandhi and Sonia are in the background. So that was quite interesting to note.
Right. So just a little bit of context.
She also met Arvind Kejriwal also.
Yes, of course. He gave her this
Yeah, she
huge
met
bouquet of
Arvind.
flowers. I was like, wow, man, that's like a lot of flowers, yeah. But I have said often that, the general election is very far away, and even 6 months is too long a time. A couple of years is way, way too long. But having said that, any jod tod that has to happen has to start now, the process. How viable is it? I mean, all, political chatter is all about the coming together of all these different people. Because I think Congress has also become a little smarter in its politics. The change from, I saw Shekhar Gupta's thesis on Amarinder being changed is such a terrible idea. Everyone I know from Punjab, and I know a lot of people from, they're saying it's the best idea. Congress can beat an anti-incumbency because Captain is very unpopular.
Yes.
And Sidhu is very popular. So it's a new party without it being a new party. So Congress retains power. But of course, many Delhi journalists don't think so. Similarly, I think that's what they're planning in Rajasthan, that just before elections, Sachin will be the face. So people who are sick of Congress can be told, see, we are retiring Gehlot and Sachin is the face. So they have a second
Something
run.
like what BJP has already done in Karnataka.
Right. So clearly, Congress is also learning some politics.
I think, they don't have an option other than to have a very broad coalition.
Yes.
And if you are to have a coalition right now, that's the only way to put up a credible challenge. You have to start the work now. This is what Sonia Gandhi did successfully before the 2004 election with the help of Ghulam Nabi Azad and Harkishan Singh Surjeet and Jairam Ramesh. They stitched those alliances, like very strategic alliances. And they had their regional leaders to just bring in their own vote also. That was, they defeated that whole India shining, that thing. Went against the political wisdom that happened. But what Abhinandan was saying just now about, they're playing smart by replacing people in Punjab or Rajasthan. It's very hard to do that at the national level, because the person you are up against is Modi, and for
And he's too
good
popular,
or bad,
right.
there's nobody who can stand up to him.
Rakesh Asthana, if you see in 2014 when the BJP came into power and Amit Shah wasn't even into the ministry, he was a party president, I think, at that time. So that is when Rakesh Asthana came to the CBI at a prominent position, and as we used to talk to our sources, he was the man for Amit Shah. So Amit Shah was calling all the shots in the CBI through Mr. Asthana. Okay, it became very evident when there was a fight between Ashwani Kumar, who was the CBI director, and Rakesh Asthana, and it became very, very evident where Ashwani Kumar came out in open. There was a case registered against Asthana, and Asthana also accused Ashwani Kumar, of doing something.
There was that whole midnight, crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Ashwani Kumar, I think, was transferred or he retired. He took premature retirement. I think a day before he was going to retire, or maybe a week before he was going to retire. So Asthana remained, and after that, the speculations were that Asthana will become the CBI director. Now, for CBI director, it has become important that there are three persons who make a panel. So Asthana could not qualify because of the IB report. I mean, the kind of cases that he's facing, or the other things. So he could not become part of the panel chosen by a panel
Who
of
picks
three.
the CBI? But sir, I think
Supreme Court.
you mean Alok Verma or Ashwani Kumar? It was Asthana versus Alok
sorry,
Verma.
Alok Verma.
Ashwani
Alok
Kumar
Verma.
was before that.
Right.
That-
Yeah.
So it played out, na? When
Right,
they were
The midnight raid.
हाँ,
and-
जब
Right,
video
right,
था तो-
right,
हाँ, it was Alok Verma, correct.
Alok Verma, right.
Alok Verma was Ashwani,
Alok-
correct.
हाँ.
हाँ.
So after he could not become part of the panel, and that is how he could not become the CBI director. Then he was given, I think, some
BSF.
other post, NSG, he was-
BSF.
BSF. No, I think before that
Actually, before that he was top gap.
with NSG and all. So some VIP security are adding that. Now just 3-4 days or 5 days before 31st July,
His retirement.
about to retire, and there was a government notification that under no circumstances anybody, because the government didn't have much money, so they will not give any extension. So if you want to give extension to any person, there has to be some extraordinary
Circumstance.
circumstances. Okay, so they could give but there was a notification to that effect. Now they're defying their own notification.
So the government had put a notification, don't give extension.
And they're defying their own notification. A, B, because you just had one Mr. Balaji Srivastava. I think he was appointed as Delhi Police Commissioner just a month ago. Month ago means on I think 31st June, Asan Srivastava retired, and 1st of July he came in, and 27th he is going also. He was 27, 26, he is going. So now
Isn't
they're
there,
defying-
sorry, sir, isn't there supposed to be a minimum 2-year tenure for a...
No, that is only for the CBI director.
Okay, yeah.
That which was fixed by Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court had also come up with this, that to the top position, DGP and all, and the UPSC has also this role, that you should have at least 6 months of
Active service left.
active service left, and then you can give a 2-year
Extension.
extension. I mean, like in case of CBI director. So the same was being followed for other important posts like DGP of the police. Delhi Police Commissioner is equivalent to DGP of a state.
State. Hmm.
Okay. Now, in this case, it's a blatant, blatantly defying the rules. Now, if we see, I mean, Supreme Court can take suo moto note of that. And can chip in because they have given a decision in the past, or somebody may go to the court.
I mean, I guess the Delhi government will go to the court, because I think when he took charge whether that was official taking charge or yesterday there was some ceremony, what was said was that he will make sure that the Delhi riot cases are are taken to
He
the
said
logical.
that.
He said that.
it.
So he says that is going to be a mandate. So clearly,
So,
he's-
so handle the Delhi riot cases very meticulously. So there is only one case which has been decided so far of Delhi riot where there is a no conviction. There is the person who was
Acquittal.
accused of participating into the riot and then involved in some looting. So that person has been exonerated. And they're all, in fact, in most cases, people are out on bail because and the court so far has only criticized Delhi police for the kind of
And-
investigation they have
and
done
put a fine also on
and
them.
put a fine also on them. And High Court has also upheld, the junior court's decision.
This is why police becomes redundant. Because people stopped respecting the police. This is I mean. I don't know, maybe in Mr. Amit Shah's world, this actually strengthens him, but I think in the long run, it weakens him and the police and everybody else.
See, he says that you handle the cases very meticulously. I don't know how they are going. If they handle it behind the scenes, that's a different matter. But I don't think they will be able to handle such a wild conspiracy charges that they have, imposed. They tried to target CA protesters.
Umar Khalid, it's over 300 days he's been in jail now.
He's in the jail, and what has he done?
Can you imagine? This is the world we live in. And he made a speech saying that there should be no violence. Let's,
Yes.
greet their violence with
Yes.
peace. I mean, yeah, it's
And
really
look
disgusting.
at what happened. The Pinjra told the two
yeah.
girls.
They're out now. Yeah.
They're out after a year.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
also spent around 360 days in the prison, and they're out.
All of you listening in, the Chota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the News Laundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to News Laundry. Help us keep news independent. To catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs, and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sun liya Afrika, mufat khoro. Not to brag or anything, but News Laundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All News Laundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.